When self-love is lacking, you are more likely to compromise. You are more likely to settle. You are more likely to accept less than God's best, okay? Less than you deserve, less than you even desire. In relationships, in a job, anything you name it, you are going to settle because you do not love yourself, you do not honor yourself, you do not honor what you desire. You're likely to settle for what you think you deserve, what you think you desire, and not what you truly do. Self-love will have you in a place of such deep alignment with yourself that you will not even step off the path to dishonor yourself when you love yourself, okay? Self-love is all about alignment with the higher self, Holy Spirit. It's all about alignment with what He desires for you, what He has for you, the plans for you, okay? The desires that we have come from Him. He places those desires in our heart. So if you desire something that the Holy Spirit has awakened in you, placed in you and awakened in you, and you still neglect that desire, not only do you not appreciate the desire that the Lord has placed and awakened in you, but you do not love yourself enough to honor it, to pursue it, okay? And it's when we engage in behavior that shows that self-love is lacking that we begin to settle and compromise. So, of course, my style is to highlight a couple signs how you know that self-love is lacking and how we are able to counterattack that, okay? So first, you will engage in patterns of self-abandonment, okay? This is when you are neglecting your own needs. It's a learned behavior, probably most likely stemming from childhood, where you were subconsciously, implicitly or explicitly taught that your needs didn't matter, that you were not catered to, that you were neglected in some way, and it reinforced that behavior that you are not valued, you're not significant, you don't have worth, okay? And so you begin to neglect yourself in adulthood, something as benign as not eating on time, even when you feel hungry, or neglecting the feeling of hunger in exchange for some other probably mindless activity. Or it can show up in relationships where you are constantly allowing others to push boundaries, to steamroll over your boundaries, to manipulate you, coerce you to do things because you do not stand up for yourself, you do not defend yourself, you do not honor yourself, okay? You do not take up space, you do not show up for yourself in your own relationship with yourself, therefore you do not even know how to show up for yourself and take up space in relationships with other people. The way you treat yourself or the way you allow people to treat you really sets the tone for a lot of the relationships in your life. And if you are engaging in patterns of self-abandonment, my dear, self-love is lacking. You do not love yourself in the way that you need to be able to first dismiss or do away with all of those negative, toxic people in your life, and two, only entertain people that are going to continue to pour into you and treat you like the way you desire to be treated. Because once you heal and level up and start loving on yourself the way the Lord loves on you, you are not going to accept any old behavior. You are not going to accept behavior that does not honor who you are becoming, that does not honor how you love yourself or how you desire to be loved. Do you understand what I'm saying? When you engage in these patterns, when you have these unhealthy mindsets toward love and relationships and yourself, you are subconsciously teaching other people, this is how I'm okay being treated, because honestly, this is how I treat myself in my own relationship with myself. Self-love is lacking in those situations because you do not honor yourself. You don't honor your own boundaries. You don't teach people to honor your boundaries. You don't reinforce them. Sis, I'm talking to myself right now. That was me. That used to be me. It's not me anymore, but I didn't love myself. You want to know the way I did? Do you want to know how I knew I did not love myself? I did not honor my own boundaries. I set them, but I did not reinforce them. I did not teach people, hey, it's not okay for you to treat me like this. I did not walk away at the first sign of abandonment. I continued to self-abandon, hoping that that person would realize, would realize to like not cross a boundary, or would realize that I'm uncomfortable. They never do, girlfriend. If you don't set and reinforce and reinforce and reinforce those boundaries, if you don't show up for yourself the way that you desire to be showed up for from other people, okay? If you do not show up in ways that teach people how to show up for you, you've got a little bit more work to do, my dear friend, okay? You've got more work to do in that area where you set the tone for behavior, tolerated behavior in your relationship, okay, my dear? So, like I said, this can even happen outside of the relationship outside of the context of a relationship, okay? The concept of self-abandonment. It happens with the self first, and it is simply perpetuated in a relationship, okay? And that's so dangerous, because then you find yourself in a relationship where, one, you don't love yourself, and two, that person cannot possibly love you. They cannot possibly love you. Why? You don't love you. There is no way you are going to attract someone who loves you if you don't even know how to love you first. And a lot of people don't understand that. You have to be able to love yourself, invest in yourself, value yourself in the absence of another person, because it's only then you will be able to attract the people who will love you the way you desire and deserve to be loved. Okay, my dear?